We continue to look at the future of faith in Northeast Ohio. This comes as fewer Americans are attending weekly religious services, and the number of people who don't affiliate with a religion is on the rise.
So what does that mean for churches in our communities? Isabel Lawrence spoke with faith leaders at two Protestant churches about navigating changes in a world that's rapidly evolving.
At the South Euclid United Church of Christ, music is moving.
You can move the stone to where you want the stone to go and be.
So are the words of Reverend Courtney Clayton Jenkins.
I just choose to believe as an African-American woman pastor that after 2,000 plus years, right, that if God wants to do something different, God can.
The Reverend describes South Euclid as a sacred community.
We are really trying to move away from the term church. There are a lot of big assumptions and small assumptions that come with that statement.
One that's progressive, multi-generational, and inclusive.
And one of the things I love about the United Church of Christ is that it says each generation has the right to make the faith its own. We've been going through a growth spurt here at the church. We've welcomed about over 175 new members this year.
Through high school mentoring, workforce development training, small groups, and other programming, plus Jenkins' style of life application preaching, South Euclid is aiming to be well-rounded.
It's Advent and we are heading towards Christmas.
At Avon United Methodist Church,
this congregation has been around since 1820.
Reverend Micah Holland has seen the decline in church attendance nationwide, but has also seen growth in his congregation and in church-going globally.
Since my tenure here in the last 10 years, our congregation is about a little more than doubled in size. And so it was about 100 people here when I came. We have just over, with online worship, 250, 300, something like that.
In both faith communities, technology has played a role, especially during the pandemic.
I would say we have about 100 people from around the country who attend our worship every week online.
But she also sees downsides of virtual worship, like not knowing everybody she preaches to personally. Pastor Holland calls digital communication a blessing and a curse, warning of a lack of in-person community in addition to the positives.
The church is more than a building, that the church is a people. And so phone calls, text messages, Zoom meetings, all those kinds of things happened in some capacity.
Also in tension, hot-button topics like issues of identity, abortion, and immigration.
No one group is going to have everything that they want, but each group is willing to sacrifice a little bit so that another group can feel seen, heard, viewed, and safe. And so in this church that welcomes LGBTQ folks, right? There are also people in this congregation that are not affirming of LGBTQ folks. Watch this, and they're both existing in this place.
So when I think of those societal issues, I try to say, how do I look at this as a place of both grace and truth? Abortion is such a challenging one. The scriptures teach us, like we are knit in our mother's womb together, and that God is present in that. And so we hold on to that truth. But at the very same time, we know that there are husband and wife or women who are caught in places where it's desperate. It's so difficult, and that they have nowhere to go and they can't see a future. And so in the midst of those kinds of moments, how do we have both grace and truth?
Both pastors noting that church can be a place for people of different viewpoints and walks of life to come together. But as our world evolves, so too does the way faith is expressed and experienced.
When I stop and I think about the future of faith, I'm not worried. But I think the church is going to change a lot. I think what we used to do won't be what we do in the future.
Isabel Lawrence, 3 News.
Well, we wanted to tell you about our Future of Faith special, which includes a roundtable discussion with many of the faith leaders featured in our series, including Reverend Jenkins and Reverend Holland.
It airs Christmas Day, December 25th at 6 p.m. and on Saturday, December 29th at noon, right here on WKYC.